Hello, hi, welcome and thank you for being here. I hope you're having a gorgeous day. We're gonna dive on in and get some clarity, see what's going on in the love department. We'll start here and see how it flows. This reading is timeless. Whenever it finds you, it's perfect. See what resonates and always follow and trust that divine inner guidance that is in you. Try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition, so your decisions are sound, they're based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin. We're going to start with the clarifying love situations. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, wow, hey Cupid, our higher selves, angels, hey, and energies of love for the highest, greatest good of all. Looks like Cupid didn't even want to wait for the intro. For a lot of you, this is somebody new coming in your life, or this is possibly somebody coming back, but with a brand new energy, with a new outlook. I just thought of that song, Sweet Disposition by The Temper Trap. Maybe there was a situation you were in the past and you felt a little trapped. You've finally gotten out. You finally healed. You almost forgot about love. You almost don't want it. And that's when it comes on in. Maybe some of you were dealing with somebody that was immature in handling their emotional, maybe outbursts. Because I think of someone having a temper. Maybe somebody had to do some self-discovery, self-reflection on how they maybe overreact, and they could have handled something a lot better. They could have handled you a lot better. Now, I feel like if anyone is meeting a new person, this is somebody really gentle. This is somebody with a sweet disposition, somebody with an open heart. I also feel like there's a person coming in where it feels natural and free. Getting back out there. Honeymoon, stage, and potential. I just thought of that song by Aerosmith called Pink when I looked at those wings, and I can't think of how that song goes other than pink. Maybe the color pink. Maybe you meet this person and they're wearing like a pink shirt. I also feel like there might be something about wings that you see. Maybe they have a tattoo. Tell us about Cupid, please. For some of you, this is a partnership coming in your life and you feel like you get a redo. You feel like you get to build on a solid foundation, that you're gonna, I hear slow and steady, like brick by brick, like you're gonna kind of take your time with this person, or maybe that's how this person feels. They really value you. They don't want to rush in because I feel like they notice there's something different about you. There's also something they notice that's different about the way they are with you, maybe compared to people they've been with in the past. For some of you, if it's somebody coming back from your past, this is starting over different. This is not repeating the same old cycle. You know, it's releasing karmic patterns that maybe you even had with that person, so you can do it different. So it's not the same repeat rerun situation again. So that has to mean that you had interchanges and so did this other person. And it means you both have to have some conversations to get on the same page. Set some healthy boundaries, some ground rules. I'd hear rediscovering each other. This is somebody, if some of you had somebody kind of half-assed before, you know, somebody that had the promises, you know, all that Cupid energy, felt all light and fluffy, and then there was never any solid hard work put in. It's like a sandcastle instead of, you know, something solid and structured. Then this is somebody washing away that sandcastle kind of energy and putting down some solid work. I feel like if some of you have somebody coming back from the past, it is going to be different. I also feel like they're not going to come back in until they know they are ready to put in the effort. So I do feel like there has to be effort put in their own life, in their own healing within themselves first, before this reconnection comes in, or Cupid decides to step on in and throw that little sparkly arrow of love. their way. But if this is a new person for some of you, this is somebody coming in and they're going to take on any challenging situation with you. This is somebody that is not afraid to mess up and fall down, because they know that falling down gives you that experience where you learn how to get up again. You learn how to work together. Personal strength, persistence, and overcoming challenges. I'm also getting there's something where, you know, 2 heads, 2 hearts, 4 hands are better than 1 or 2 or 4. You know, like working together, you can come up with solutions faster. Maybe because this person has a totally different perspective than you. Let's get one more. Clarity on Cupid and rebuilding. Wow, you have unexpected. This is going to come out of nowhere. Cupid's going to fly his or her little pink wings over there, and bam, right when you were in the grocery store, or bam, when you were doing your laundry and you didn't expect that phone call to come in or that knock at the door. Somebody's going to come in out of nowhere. I'm also getting that if some of you are connecting to somebody new, they might not be your usual type, and that might surprise you a little bit. Also, don't judge a book by its cover, because there's something about the depth here. I don't know why I saw that as an eclipse. Maybe something's coming back into light, or with an eclipse energy, it's like the sun and the moon fit each other perfectly. Maybe this is somebody who's the perfect fit. Maybe there was a stormy situation, but that's actually I'm getting a blessing in disguise. If some of you have a weird situation that happens with someone, I feel like the way you heal afterwards, the way you get back on track, the way you handle it different with this person is what's unexpected, and that feels really good. You know, if it was just always kind of vanilla and it's like you're turning the page, but there's nothing of depth on any of those pages, it's not a very exciting love story. So there is something here where it might be a little storm, but there's something even brighter about the sun that comes back out. It's something that comes out of nowhere, unpredictable, surprising. I'm also getting, if you are reconnecting to somebody from your past, they're not going to even like have the same vibe. It's like their overall energy is going to feel like it completely is different than what you remember. So maybe this is somebody you haven't seen in a long time, because I feel like there's been a lot of time to change. And I am getting, especially with that black hole, it's something that started internally but expanded to somebody's external world. This is also where something comes and it shifts you in a different way. Totally random situation that was actually meant to be. I am getting that this is a beautiful tower moment, if it is a tower moment. It's where I see that vanilla energy. There was kind of nothing, and all of a sudden everything is exciting. So let's see what is going on. Let's get you an angel number. What is an angel number on Cupid? Rebuilding an unexpected prosperity. Side message. This is also prosperity, abundance, wealth, security coming into your life. I do feel like this is a person here that supports what you are working on. I feel like you also support each other. I am not getting a codependency with this. I'm kind of getting that self-made man and woman, but maybe this is also a power couple situation where you really unexpectedly work well in the bedroom and in the office together. Embrace your potential and welcome prosperity. You are making wise decisions and heading in the right direction. I'm also getting that this is, it feels like a partnership that, it feels golden. Like I'm kind of getting winning the lottery, but I feel that's how you and someone else feel about meeting each other, or after the experiences you have with each other, how it feels. You're like, man, it's like I hit the jackpot. Or I got the biggest blessing from God to have this partnership in my life. And for some of you, if it is not love, doesn't have to be love for all of you. Cupid could be like, you know, pulling back that bow and arrow to give you an epiphany idea on something you need to start building in your life, because that is that self-made prosperity kind of energy that's going to give you a real solid foundation and support that will continue on and continue to build in your life. I'm also getting this is something that you enjoy, not just something that feels really heavy. Like every brick you put on, you're like, ugh, another brick. I feel like this is like, where's my brick? Where's my next brick? Gotta put it down. I'm getting that it's like exciting to you. There's also a mirroring energy here with the 808. It's interesting because I saw that 808 and I just thought of like SOS, but then I thought of the like kitchen lingo, sauce on side. So maybe something was kind of dry and you're going to get kind of saucy, or you're going to, you know, I don't know, put some flavor on something, but there's something about something being on the side and you adding something to the mix. Not sure exactly what I was getting with that, but I'm not getting like weird SOS, unless it is like a smoke signal. Maybe you actually get that signal. I feel like it's more like a spiritual smoke signal than smoke and mirrors. So maybe somebody does send you out a text, or somebody actually needs a little bit of help, or maybe it's just your advice with something. Maybe that opens the door. I hear waiting. I actually think some of you might meet somebody like kind of in a weird situation. Not bad weird, but almost like divinely orchestrated, yet feels a little annoying before you actually sit down on the bench and you meet this person while I'm getting like while you're waiting for a tow, or, you know, you're looking for jumper cables. You know, you have all of this electricity here. It's almost like your battery went dead. And you're like, oh man, I'm going to be late to work, or I had that appointment. And then there's like a person there and they're like, dude, or hey, lady, whatever it is, like, I got jumper cables. Do you need them? And maybe you meet under kind of unusual circumstances. Hey, maybe you connect to the tow truck driver, or, yeah, I just kind of see somebody waiting. Or like meeting somebody maybe in the in-between, maybe when you're getting gas, something like that. It's kind of just random, unexpected, maybe not necessarily a big deal, but it still feels like you get to the end of the day and you have a story to tell. So maybe for some of you, you run into somebody you know, but kind of out of nowhere. It's not like they called you up and they were like, hey, let's meet at the diner at 5. It's more like you were kind of just out and about doing your thing, you know, shopping at Home Depot or whatever. Or I actually just saw like a thrift store, you know, something like that. And there's somebody maybe from way in the past, or maybe somebody you haven't seen in a while, and there's something about that kind of being divinely orchestrated. And I do feel like there's somebody at the end of that day, because I feel like that's just the beginning. That's just the reconnection. That's just the introduction. There's something about you wanting to like tell your bestie later, or like journal about. You're like, oh, this day, you know, it started out like this, but how by the end of the day am I here and, you know, this much has changed? Or you feel that fated meeting is going to change a lot in your life. I hope that made sense. I do feel like you're going to have this knowing. I am seeing like a soulmate energy. You just kind of know. You don't know how you know, but there's something different about this connection. Even if for some of you, it's just connecting to someone that maybe has a job offer, or points you in the right direction, maybe towards your future person. Cool. I like these. So let's get you, I want to get you like a message. Can we get you something different? I'm not exactly sure what happened. I got a little tongue-tied and then kind of just went blank, and then I just reached up and stopped the reading. So even when stuff like that happens, I feel like there was a purpose with the energy I was tapping into. So maybe you thought something was building and then it just stopped, unexpected, out of nowhere. Or maybe something unexpected came in for you and you had to stop building something, or put, you know, Cupid on the back burner for a little bit because there was something else you had to handle. It was kind of unplanned, but necessary to mend something before the growth, before the right connection, something like that. But let's continue. I'm not going to stop the reading, but I'm going to switch gears. Since Cupid, prosperity, unexpected, and rebuilding don't necessarily have to be in love land. All of this energy can be you loving what you are doing, you loving a project that you are thinking about or currently working on or will in the future. So let's go to the career and life. What is a career and life message that would be the most helpful on rebuilding, unexpected, Cupid, prosperity? Please and thank you. What is one message from the career and life? Woo! You got these golden dice. It's telling you to take a chance, to make a move, step up to bat, you know, step into the spotlight. Don't hide behind the curtain. You have to be the one to get yourself out there to meet that person, to talk to the right person, to give you a new opportunity. This is also where sometimes you have to be the one to knock on the door, send the email, have a conversation. There's something about you, because you keep getting this message here that you either have an untapped talent you haven't discovered yet because you haven't signed up for that class that you keep thinking about, or there is something that you are talented at and you know it, but you're not letting it shine. You're not sharing that gift. If you are gifted with something, you were given that gift to share, to inspire, to help, to entertain, whatever it is. But there is a reason that your soul has that gift. And it doesn't have to be that you're good on the trumpet or you can play the guitar or the piano. You could have the gift of communication. You could be gifted in, you know, calculations or coding. You can be gifted in even just your, I'm getting just your style, how you have an interesting style and you don't know how many people you inspire, or because you wear something. I just see somebody wearing a big, crazy looking hat. Like, because you're going out in your crazy looking hat, your cowboy hat, whatever it is, there's somebody that always kind of wanted to wear a cowboy hat, but they're like, no, I would look weird. I don't live in cowboy country. You know, I can't be in the city and wear that. And then they see that one person, they're like, wow, that person looks stylish. Look at how sexy they look in that crazy hat. You know what? Tomorrow I'm going to wear my crazy hat. And you just, I don't know why that example just gave me goosies. I literally just got a zap of energy from that. So if you have a hat that you have been holding back on wearing, this is your message to get out there and wear your hat. You know, own it. There's something about, maybe that's the thing that gets the conversation. Maybe because you wear those weird boots today, that's why somebody walks up to you and they're like, cool boots. And that maybe starts a conversation. Maybe that's your person. Maybe that's somebody who has an open door for you, the right job for you, or points you in the right direction. And that conversation would never come about if you didn't put on the crazy hat or the cool boots. So there's something about you even just expressing your style. Maybe you're the one that notices somebody and, you know, you say, hey, cool boots. And I'm getting somebody being unexpectedly maybe different even in their personality or what they do than the style that they appear as. I hope that made sense. Like, I kind of see somebody who maybe looks like a cowboy, but you have no idea they're actually a scientist. something like that. Or maybe somebody, you know, really grooves and they really embody whatever it is they are building on, or whatever it is that their, you know, personality frequency shines at. And they just kind of express themselves even bigger than, it's like style, personality, skills, experiences. There's something about everything kind of combining into one. I'm also getting that somebody is building more of that enthusiasm, building more of that personal touch of who they are, the more comfortable they get with something. So maybe some of you are even reinventing yourselves. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can always start again. You could always try something different. You can always decide now that that thing you never gave a go 20 years ago, you're going to give it a go tomorrow. Why not? What do you have to lose? You never know unless you try. Roll the dice. So, time to put yourself out there. You are hiding your talents, and it's time to take a risk. Step into the spotlight now. The universe, your angels and your spirit guides keep coming through. If you're watching these readings, this is a repeating message for you guys that you're supposed to let your light shine, let people see you. This has also something to do with this beautiful love entering into your life and you gaining this energy of prosperity and wealth. It's tapping into your potential. Even if some of you feel like you're just the novice, you know, like you have to take a lot of lessons to learn that thing, or you have to give it a lot of attention. There's something about it being worth every, you know, strike of the hammer. There's something about you gaining more strength with something. So let's go to the tarot. And I want to use this one because it's so cute. And this little Cupid is kind of reminding me of these cards. So let's get you a couple tarot messages just to see what the flow of energy is and some advice on moving forward. What is the current flow of energy going on with the collective? Please and thank you. Current flow of energy that would be helpful to know about. Current flow of energy is making a decision, making a choice that's going to stop a lot of tension. If there was a lot of tension in a situation, even a lot of competition, I feel like you're either going to get a boost of strength or you're going to actually see that something wasn't worth the tension and just let something go. But I kind of feel like you are the mediator here. There's a girl with a crazy hat. Maybe it's about a hat. Justice is usually where you get balance restored by making a solid decision. Sometimes this is signing a document. Sometimes this is seeing something at that elevated perspective so you can see everybody's side of the story and make your best, you know, personal next move with all of the information rather than being one-sided. If you're only seeing one side of the coin, you're missing the whole other side, including the, you know, the connecting side to a situation. So if some of you just didn't get to see somebody else's perspective, this is you getting to see somebody's perspective. This is where you're going to feel a lot better, and all that tension that was going on in this tug of war situation here will finally feel a lot better once a solid choice is made. I am seeing for some of you, you could be doing something that involves like submitting a business plan or getting a trademark or something like that. Justice 11, it's a Libra energy. But I kind of feel like this is just you seeing an overall perspective different than when you were in the tension. Because I always feel like justice feels a little awkward before that adjustment is made. Once you make an adjustment, now things can feel back in balance. And usually with the typical justice, you have the feather here. So what feels light? What are your thoughts about? even writing something down. That feather does make me think of like signing a document. And then you have the heart on the other side. So the balance also between thoughts and your heart, or the head and the heart. Finding that center point between, not being overly logical, but still looking at the facts, but involving the heart of the matter. Let's see, why is justice here? Clarify justice, please. What is the heart of the matter with justice? Strength, there's your strength. So diving deep into a situation, this little scuba diver girl is just kind of hanging out with this smiling shark. Maybe it's where you felt like you were in shark infested waters before. Something was kind of lurking around you. Maybe if something was kind of lurking in your energy, you had to have the strength to face something head on, have a conversation. I'm also getting that something that seemed like a really big deal, or someone that felt like they were kind of overpowering, is actually like I'm getting kind of like a pussycat, you know, kind of soft and squishy in the inside. Maybe it's how you approach the situation that makes a difference, or how you approach this person. I feel like there's a softening energy, but strength comes through when you need it. It could also be a Leo. Strength also comes through when you are strong enough. I just heard like a deep love. I just heard a Bee Gees. I just saw the deep here and love. How deep is your love? Is your love? That's a really good song. Maybe it's a deep love coming in, whether that's a person or a deep love within yourself, self-love, or something you are doing. And I feel like it's almost heart melting. If you thought you weren't strong enough to have something so solid, so true, so real, so deep, so divine, you are. There's also something about destiny here, where there's something you were divinely directed towards, but you had to be the one to get up there first. You had to be the one to say hello, open up that conversation. You had to be the one to meet somebody halfway even. If strength is upside down, it's either feeling like you're weak because you didn't handle something so well in the past, or giving your personal power away, or it could also be an overpowering, where it's more in that lusty, I want kind of energy, and it's a little too swallowed by ego. That was weird. Freudian slipped eagle. I meant ego, where you're not tapping into that epiphany, ethereal energy of spirit. But eagle is kind of an interesting thing. Maybe you see an eagle, or an eagle is a sign for you. Eagles are actually an omen that come into your life when you are stepping into a higher purpose in your life. I just looked at that in the camera. It looks like something is going to come into your life really fast. I mean, you have unexpected. This is interesting. Cupid's arrows, except here it's Cupid's paddles. So, you know, if you lost your paddle on your kayak, it looks like the divine is bringing like a bunch more for you so you can continue to paddle along. I'm also seeing that there's something about you putting that paddle, you know, into the water. You're putting your energy in, but you're getting the right wave of opportunity that's going to put a little power surge in your strength to help move you along faster than in the past. I'm just getting, don't get in your own way. If you got in your own way before, if you let somebody else get in your way before, overpower you, you know, tell them to shoo out of your way. You got things to do. I feel like maybe some of you didn't tell someone to like cool it, or, you know, move over. You're blocking my path here. I feel like some of you are gaining the strength to speak up, and I feel like you're getting the gift of the right people that kind of are like that power wave. It's like they're in the right, I keep hearing surge, especially with this, like surge of energy or current. That's sort of what I see, like the current in the ocean, to help you move along. Roll the dice. I also feel like this is more than one opportunity. Maybe for some of you, Cupid is, you know, tossing that arrow at a couple different people. And part of your strength here is you have to really take a chance, because each time you take a chance or go on a date, you get to learn a little more about yourself, but you're going to recognize in your soul where you feel you want to put more of your time into, where you feel like you're not always in a tug of war kind of situation, or all the balls are in one court or the other, where it's equal power here, where it's more like a game than a battle, like fun games, you know, like I just heard in it to win it. But I feel like somebody is actually on your team. 8. So you have 8, 8. Interesting. You have 8, 8, 808, and 11. Maybe 811. I just thought of the band 311. 311. Did they? I think they have a version of The Cure's love song. Whenever I'm with you, you make me feel like I am home again. Pardon my voice today. I was mowing all the lawns and it kind of stirred up. Some of my allergies, and they usually go away. It usually happens the first lawn mow of the season, but love song. That is a beautiful song. I don't know why I just thought of Daniel Caesar too. Get You. That is one of my favorite songs. And I don't know why. Kali Uchis, Get You. That there's just something so sexy about that song. I'm going to put it in the description. If you have never heard that song, I highly suggest just closing your eyes and giving it a little listen. So let's get you one more, because I have to skedaddle today. And this reading is going to be a little bit shorter. So let's end with a beautiful message from the universe. What is one final message from the universe that would be helpful? Please and thank you. One more message. Of course, you will make mistakes. 'Tis life. But the biggest, it's the same message. All right, so your biggest message here, your biggest mistake that you can make, the biggest thing that your angels and spirit guides, that God, that your higher self is coming through, trying to get into your life right now, today, so you really hear this message, is the biggest mistake you could do is not try. To get in your own way, to not step up to bat, to not give something a go. So the biggest mistake would be not to try. You have nothing to lose. You have the thing you have been thinking about for a long time. This is not something that just kind of comes into your life out of nowhere, and that would be cool and you kind of forget about it. This is something you have been thinking about, but haven't started. You know, haven't tried building in your life, or haven't put enough effort in, or tried and failed, but didn't learn from that failure, so you never got back up again. So, or for some of you, you know, something came and got in the way, and that had to be something that was brought into your world to bring something back into balance, so you're in the right balanced energy. So when you now get that message again to give it a try again, the results are going to be different. Better an oops than a what if. We are here to support you. You're getting this boost of strength. You know, you're going to feel this turned on kind of energy here. So you step into your personal power, so you give something a go. You allow yourself to be in that spotlight and shine. With this, I bid you adieu. I hope this reading was helpful for you. I love you so much, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye.